We're going to do 2 experiments. The coffee is going to be the same. The grind size is going to be the same. The temperature is going to be the same. The only real difference here is pouring structure. We're going to be doing after 30-second bloom. We're going to do 2 pours for one scenario. And then the second one is going to be 5 pours after the bloom. And for the most part, all we're really trying to do is agitate the grounds as evenly as possible. So the brewers that we're going to be using are the Hario V60 with the fast filter. And then we're going to also be using the April Brewer with the fast filter. I don't know why I say using the fast filter. That makes that big of a difference, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to save a slow filter versus fast filter for another day to see what the extractions are, see what the coffee tastes like and all that good stuff. But for now, we're more concerned about the pours and how that affects taste and flavor, because I think there is a difference. I usually prefer coffees that are multiple pours, more than 2, because of the heaviness, the way the coffee tastes. It feels more full body compared to the least amount of pours. And then usually the ones that has the least amount of pours, they are more smoother. They feel better in the mouth. They feel more silky, if that makes any sense. Sometimes when you have multiple pours, it tends to have a chalkier type of taste. It's not as clinical, if that makes any sense. So we're going to do a 1:15 ratio. So 10 grams in and a total of 150 grams of water. I think we're going to start with the April Brewer with 2 pours. Okay, that's 10 grams. I'm going to do 30 grams in. And then I think this one, what we're going to do is do the 2 pours. So after 30 seconds, what I'm going to be pouring is about 60 grams of coffee. So that should get us to 90 grams of water. Kind of went over, but that's okay. And once this goes down a little bit more, let's say about the minute mark, just go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this up to 150 grams, as closely as possible. There we go, 150 grams. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and get the next one ready to go. So first attempt, April Brewer, 2 pours. We're done with our brew, about 2 minutes and 20 seconds if you care about that stuff. This is what it looks like. So this one's going to be a little bit tricky just because it's kind of a different type of amount that I pour. I do 30 grams of coffee, of water, 54, 78, 102, 126, and 150. It's 10. Remember, 30 grams of coffee. We'll wait out 30 seconds. And then the next pour is going to be up to 54 grams. Wait a little bit more. You can take it up to 78. Let it drain down a little bit more. I'm going to take it to 102. Went over a little bit, but that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 pours so far. Take it to 126. Let it drain down a little bit more. And now we're going to take it to 150 grams of coffee water. There we go, 150 grams. Just let it finish out over here. It's still going. It's over 2 minutes and 40 seconds so far, and it's still drawing now. So we're going to let it finish. In the meantime, we're going to mix this through for the first attempt, and we're going to go ahead and at least get our reading ready to go. Okay, we're done about 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Second attempt, April Brewer, and this is 5 pulses or pours. All we care about is TDS. I mean, we'll taste it at the end, but right now we're going to do a TDS. The next experiment is going to be with the Hario V60 with the fast brewers, just so we can have like 2 comparisons. We're still going to do the 2 pours after 30 seconds for the 3rd attempt, and then 5 pours for the 4th attempt. If you cared, that's what it looks like. So we're going to do our 10 grams again, and 10 grams. Going to wait 30 seconds. Going to go up to 90. Wait a little bit, and now we're going to take it up to 150. Pretty fast brew. This is 6 on the Fellow O2. Looks pretty clean to me. The last one. 10 grams coffee. Here we go. 30 grams. Wait about a little over 30 seconds. 54. And take this to 78. 102. And as you can see, the drawdown is actually a lot slower with the multiple pulses. I think it does that mainly because once you settle like the grounds and everything, they get redistributed. They kind of lock into place like glue, if that makes any sense. 126. And then we're going to take it down, take it to 150. 150. And as you saw, the only agitation that I did was the pours. So while we wait, it's done about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. A lot longer than the 2 pulses, as both experiments have showed us. So we're really aiming for 1.5. So let's see what we are at right now. That grind size, we're at 0.99 TDS. That's extremely under extract. We're gonna taste these later, but right now we're just getting the extraction. And while we wait, let's just go ahead and taste it. Tastes like coffee, but it doesn't have that character. It doesn't have that, you know, so 0.99 TDS. That's pretty low. That's, I can tell you that's already severely under extracted and it's tasting that way. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say that when I do the TDS first. I know that. At the end of the day, all we're really trying to do is seeing what the extractions are with the pours. And as you saw too, what I'm trying to do is trying to make the brews when I pour as evenly distributed as much as I can. I think these are done, and you can see what these look like. The one on the top one is the 3rd attempt. This is the 2 pulses. And the one that's closer to me, this is 5 pulses. The beds, from what I'm looking at, this looks a little bit better. This one seems a little bit washed out a little bit. But again, it's all about the taste, right? It's all about the flavor. It's kind of too early. Let's just see what we're working with. 1.16, so about 17 points higher with the TDS for this particular coffee. There's a difference, but not, they're really close together. You may say, yes, it's more developed, but when I'm tasting the cup, it's more comparable to each other. So that's why it's really cool to have like numbers and be objective a little bit, because it lets you know a little bit more of how much more extraction that one method is doing over the other. Yes, they still taste very similar to each other, but as you see, it's a little bit more extracted compared to the 2 pulses versus the 5 pulses. So we're gonna do the 2 pulse V60 reading. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one real quick. 105 TDS. So slightly higher than the April Brewer with the extraction with the 2 pulses. I'm glad that I'm doing it this way just because it gives us 2 reference points, right? Really 4, but what I mean by that is that we're trying to see if this makes sense on different brewers. We're using the fast filter and all that good stuff. We're seeing if the 2 pulses versus the 5 pulses do make a difference. With that being said, let's go ahead and taste the 2 pulse, 2 pour coffee. Okay. Tastes fine, but it's under extracted. I don't really taste much of characteristics of coffee. That's a story for another day, but I'm wondering if you can actually still enjoy coffee as it's under extracted. Doing the 4th attempt, TDS. 1.17, very similar to what the 5 pulses were doing on the April Brewer. So the extraction did come up a decent amount, about 18, about 12 in this case, compared to the V60 method versus the April Brewer. If that makes any sense. Sometimes I don't make any sense. So we're gonna taste it. I know I should clean my palate, but we're just tasting coffee. Okay. Again, more so the same. These coffees taste the same, very similar. That's with me drinking it with my palate. Yes, I should clean my mouth and everything, but at the end of the day, doesn't give me that sense of that much more flavor between a 1.17 TDS coffee versus a 1.05 coffee. So we're gonna go to 5 pours. Mouth feels okay. Yeah, it's more smooth. I do taste that it's a little bit more smoother with 2 pours versus the 5. But I think since it's at such a low TDS, it's very hard to decipher that. So it is 1.17 TDS. So what's our conclusion here? Multiple pulses do make a difference. It's kind of hard to decipher exactly what you're tasting just because these coffees are severely under extracted. And that's not what this is about. This is more so about the extraction in pulses and pours. And as you saw, I just did more so like a circle pour, but as you can see right now, more pulses do give you more extraction. And most of the time when you have more extraction, you have more flavor. And the thing that I like about that too is that if you have more extraction, that means that it gives you the ability to go as coarse as reasonably possible with your grind size, and that's where the flavor's at a coarser grind size. I mean, that can be up for debate because some brewers bring out more as it comes to fineness versus coarseness in a coffee. But again, we're just tackling one little thing at a time. There's no need to try to do all of what we're trying to do all at once. We're just trying to solve little things here and there as we go about this journey together. Because at the end of the day, if we can worry about or fix our coffee pours and structures and understand that a little bit more, I think we're going to be in a better light when it comes to actually coffee brewing and enjoying our cups of coffee. Because that's really what it's all about, right? So as you can see with the April Brewer and the Hario V60, the multiple pours do give you more extraction. Again, at this level, it's kind of hard to decipher exactly what you're tasting because objectively, they taste more so the same. So with that being said, this is Okey at Everyday Beans. I hope that you got something out of this. Let me know and we'll talk about this later. So bye.